of causes are going to affect the entire production. Okay, so it means that major problems are produced due to some common issues, due to some common problems, that is due to some common causes. So many of the problems are produced in the industry because of some common causes. It is also known as 80/20 rule. That means 80% of the common problems are because of 20% of the same issues. That is nothing but if you are running a IT company. So let us assume that your IT company is having 10 problems. So what kind of problems the IT company is having is, it could be a resource problem, it could be financial problem, it could be technology problem, it could be that is resource, financial and technology problem. So if you take example of like this, so 80% of the problems, that means if you compare any industry, so these are the common problems which you are going to get while running a particular industry. That is because of 20% common issues. So these are the issues. That means if you run a business, the common problems are resource and financial and technical problems. So this will be common problems. That's why whatever the business is having problems, in that 80% problems will be common problems. That is 20% of the common issues. So that's why it is known as 80/20 rule. Okay, so this rule is applicable to each and everything. Even in your life also you can apply this rule. For example, suppose if India is winning the match, in the sense, if you analyze why India won the match, then you will get 80% of the team. That means out of 11 players, nearly 7 to 8 players are going to keep, that means out of 7 to 8 players, 20% of the players are going to keep their 100% effort. That means in these 7 to 8 players, nearly 3 to 4 players are going to keep their 100% effort. So that's why India will won the match. So if you observe each and every match, or if you take in your regular life cycle also. Now let us assume India's population is 100 crores. Okay. Now 80% of the population, that means 80 crores of people are going to have 20% of common issues. Now what are the common issues to a person is like finance, food and butter, health, food and butter. So these are the common issues. So that means 80% of the people will be having 20% of these issues. Okay. So in this way you can compare anything. So while doing enterprise analysis also, we are going to compare that. First we are going to identify what are the common issues, that is what are the common problems. So after identifying the common problems, then we are going to give solution. Okay. So here is some points for Pareto analysis. Pareto analysis is a formal technique, selects a number of the most effective actions that deliver a total benefit reasonably. Pareto analysis is a creative way of looking at cause of problems. It should be combined with other analytical tools such as failure mode and effect analysis and fault tree analysis. Okay. The next one is fishbone analysis. So fishbone analysis explains the relationship between cause and effect. And apart from that, fishbone analysis is also used to determine or to brainstorm the exact solution that we need to give for a particular problem. Okay, so if there is a particular problem and if you have multiple options to solve that problem, which is the best option? So that we are going to decide with fishbone diagram. Okay, now if I want to explain about fishbone diagram, like on the upper side we will be taking the cause and the lower side we will be taking the effect. Okay, for example, now a work can be done by a person in 5 days if he is working 8 hours per day, and for each hour and for every day let us assume we are paying $80. Okay, 80 into 5 is $400. So to complete a work, if we are appointing a person, we are incurring a cost of $400 and he is going to complete that work within 5 days if he is working 8 hours a day. In the same way, if I want to do that work on a machine, the machine is going to complete that work in 3 days, and the cost that we are incurring for machine is also like $80 per day, and we are going to run the machine 8 hours per day. Okay, so when we take the output and when we take the cost, the for man we are spending $400, and for machine we are spending 8 into 3, that is $240, and man is completing in 5 days and machine is completing in 3 days. So if you want to select, which one you will be selecting, whether you will go for machine or whether you go for man?
We'll go for machine.
Okay, so you are going to take an option to go for machine. Why? Because the cost or the expenses we are incurring is less and machine is
Yeah.
completing that work within less period of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a simple scenario how to select a particular option for a problem. Now if there is a scenario where you can't judge, for example, now machine is taking same time and same amount of money and man is taking same time and same amount of money, that is machine is also going to complete the work in 5 days if you are operating the machine 8 hours per day, and we are incurring $80 per 1 day, and man is also completing the same work in 5 days and is working for 8 hours a day, and per day we are paying $80. That means machine is taking 5 days and the cost incurring is $400, and man is taking 5 days and cost incurring is $400. Now how you decide, like what option you are going to select, whether it is a machine or whether it is a man?
I think whoever can do work without any errors, maybe machine again.
Okay, machine, you are saying about machine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Shatabdi, like which one you will select, whether machine or man?
Um, yeah, definitely machine, because there will be no manual intervention, right? So there would be chances of errors, I mean, less chances of errors. So if, I mean, because the time period would be same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we would select that option in which we get a perfect, without errors, yeah.
Okay, so if this is a scenario, you people are going out of box and you are thinking something. That means you are trying to find out some defects. So that is nothing but a defect analysis. Okay. So now you are taking a decision by going out of the way. You are not taking a decision by cause and effect. We are seeing something which are known as defects. So you are counting the defects. So according to you people, if you are taking machine, you will say that there will be less defects. Okay. So in this way, the fishbone diagram will give some analysis. It means some options to select a correct option. Okay. Now you people are saying that you will go with machine, but I will go with man. Why? Because now I am taking into consideration only about this particular work. Okay. Now if I go with machine, what happens? Let us assume that we are completing the work within 5 days. But after 5 days, if I have work or if I don't have work, I need to keep a minimum expenses for machine to keep in a running position. Okay, I need to do daily oiling or daily greasing to that machine, which I am going to get a expenses of $20 or $25 daily. If I am going to a person, so as soon as I complete this work, if I don't have work, I can remove that person or I can take that person into any other work, because I can module that person according to my wish. But I can't do the same thing with the machine. Why? Because machine is a systematic and process oriented. It will be applicable only for a particular process. If I want to do any other process, I can't do on that. But if I go for a person, I can molding. Suppose if I don't have any work in the department, I can keep a person in other department. But if I go with machine, I can't do that. Apart from that, I need to put some expenses for its daily maintenance. So that's why I will go with person. Okay. In this way, the fishbone analysis will give some defects and will explain you what kind of correct option we need to choose. So no need to bother about fishbone and Pareto analysis. These two are outdated, and right now no company is using this fishbone or Pareto analysis. Okay, but I have explained you, just you need to get some knowledge on fishbone and Pareto analysis.
I have a question. So all these 6 knowledge areas we use to identify the errors and how to solve that?
You are talking about 6 knowledge areas or only enterprise analysis techniques?
I mean, now as you said in fishbone analysis that we identify the problems and try to, get the solution how to solve that.
Yeah.
So all, and this comes under 6 knowledge area, right?
Yeah,
The
this is the
Pareto.
first knowledge area. I am explaining you about the first knowledge area, that is enterprise analysis. And in this,
Okay.
we are having different enterprise analysis techniques. So Pareto analysis is one technique and fishbone diagram is another technique.
The one thing I did not get is while doing the analysis, why do we use these to identify the errors and to solve that, or usually while doing the analysis we have to use these techniques?
So it is just like that. The company will be following their own enterprise analysis techniques. That's why I said. So
Okay.
there are different enterprise analysis techniques based on the company's kind of business, based on the kind of stakeholders. Okay. Based on the company's objective, we are going to select a enterprise analysis technique. So
Okay.
then we will come to know like what we need to do in that project.
Okay.
Okay.
So when we start the SDLC process, the first step is analysis. So in that analysis, we could use anything which company is using. right?
Yeah. So when we start SDLC process, the analysis, whatever, suppose if you are appointed for some company, they will be explaining you. So we are going to use fishbone analysis, or we are going to use fat analysis, or we are going to use gap analysis.
Okay, okay. So
Okay.
is it, does it differ from project to project, or